All right, Carey, how's it going, man?
Going well, man. Good to see you.
Awesome, dude. Good to see you as well. Thanks for doing this. Why don't we just start? Quick intro, who you are, what you do, where you're from.
Yeah, my name's Carey Clayton. I'm a music producer, touring guitarist, and now I'm a recording artist, putting out a lot of my own music as well. Um, so kind of balancing those three things. I was in New York City for the last 7 years, but recently I've relocated back to LA.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Good deal. So when you came to me, as you mentioned there, you were um, doing a lot of session work as a guitar player and touring, and you tour with some pretty cool acts, and that was your sort of main thing, and you wanted to add some music production clients to the kind of mix of what you were doing. What were things like on the music production side back then? What were you struggling with? Why did you come to us? Why don't you give us a little, paint a picture of what it was like then?
Yeah, when I first came into contact with you, I was mostly making a living as a guitarist, but doing like had been producing for the last 2 years or so, and that all kind of um, came naturally out of being a guitar player, I guess. Like I started, doing tracks for people kind of haphazardly or randomly without any real business model behind it, and I was um, doing it for very cheap, and I didn't see a lot of growth on the financial end in that. Maybe like every couple of months I'd up my price by like $100, but I was seeing myself getting kind of tired. Like how much work I was putting into it was kind of crazy to in relation to how much I was getting. But I was also learning a lot, so I was kind of accepting of that. But the reason I reached out to you, or when we came in, when we started talking, I was at the point where it was like all my clients were coming from generally like gigs I was doing as a guitar player or like referrals. So I was like, okay, but it was like kind of slow that way, and it didn't seem to like it didn't grow as quickly as I wanted. So when we started working together, that was my intention, was to set something up for myself, like a system that I could lean into to be able to like create work for myself pretty much.
Got it. Cool. And we ended up working, together for a good period of time, couple of rounds, I believe, over a year, maybe even a year and a half at some point.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
like,
yeah, and it's kind of funny because you know we got to a point where there was just kind of nothing to talk about anymore, right? You're like, yeah, I mean, I got everything I want, so I guess I'm good. It's all right. Well, hey, I think we're good.
well, also just kind of staying in that environment was good for me. Even if I wasn't super involved with it, I'd like poke my head in sometimes, and it would just like kind of remind me of all the things, because the business stuff is not my like de facto personality, or like where I generally operate. Like my passion is making music and making art, and then like joining with you, it helped me build up the business side of it to help me do more music and more art. So just having little reminders, like I need to have those external things to like remind me of the business mindset and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, well, in general, kind of what was your experience like going in? Again, I think we worked together for probably over a year. Um, what did you get out of that? This could be anything from um, revenue that was brought in to things you learned to however you want to answer it. But what was your experience in general?
Oh, I mean, experience in general was great. I mean, I feel like I took away skills that I can apply to any business venture. Like I really didn't have much of a business acumen before this, and now I feel like I actually like pretty much understand what's going on at a fundamental level with business, and the more specifics to what we do as a music producer. But there's a lot of specifics. Just off the top of my head, I was actually talking with some friends about it. Someone who's more of like she's kind of in the life coach world, but we still talk about sales calls and like I was telling her yesterday about how my calls before I was with you were just like so horrible, or like whenever I'd meet with an artist, there was just like no direction to them. I would just be like, yeah, cool, we'll do a song, or like, and now I know from the other end, like artists have told me like, wow, it like the way you spend the time on a call is pretty incredible. Like getting to know about me, like no one asks those kind of things, like goals and stuff, like well before getting into actually talking about the song. So that sales call thing was huge for me. Just seeing what I do is like a business that has, you know, if I put in X inputs, you get Y results, and learning how to tweak that. Yeah, and content creation was huge. Especially I don't do enough of it, and I should do more, is like the talking head videos, because those are just the most uncomfortable for me. But those can really connect with people. And maybe that ties into a larger point in that a lot of the program with you would like push me into uncomfortable zones, but that's where I knew a lot of growth would be. So it's like, and being in a program and being accountable for it definitely made that easier.
Right. The other point too is that, you know, you also get to a point because of the stuff that you do and you grow that you don't have to do as much of that stuff anymore. Like obviously on a day-to-day basis, I don't do as much content as my current clients because I've put in that work to build out my system to where, you know, people know about me. I can make one post and I know it's going to connect and it fills my calendar up. So you kind of get to that point where like, you know, like I think the last time we had a call a couple months ago, you know, our last one, it was sort of like, well, you know, I'm booked out with all the stuff I need to be booked out with. So obviously like, I'm not going to be like, well, go make videos. You know what I mean? Like you kind of got into a flow of, hey, this is how many clients I wanted to get each month. I have that now. This allows time for whatever my music that I want to work on now and this. And, you know, that's cool. People don't need to, I think people, when they start building the business, they're like, gosh, am I going to be a marketing guy for the rest of my life? It's like, no, you're building the foundation. Believe me, I still want everybody to be a producer. I realize that, you know, this isn't about making, you know, producers business people and not produce anymore. It's just like, hey, while you're building this, you're going to be a little bit more of a business person, but I promise that once it's settled, you'll be good, you know?
Yeah. And just having gone through that, I feel like when I feel so much more secure in my business, and that I know I can like lean on that if I need to again.
Right. Exactly.
Whereas didn't have a system.
Yeah.
Like
it's control, man. It's control. Yeah. It's saying, okay, you know, I want to maybe not do as much client work for the next 3 months and work on this project. Hell yeah. I'm all for that. Or, hey, I want to try maybe this kind of business yet. Awesome. I'm all for that. But it's, you know, it's making sure the person has the control, you know, that's what it's about. It's not about like, oh, I want to make this much money, or, oh, I need to be a marketing guy, or, oh, it's just, hey, do I have control of my situation so that I can decide what I want to do and maneuver my career?
Wow. I mean, yeah, totally. I mean, that if I look back where I was like a year and a half ago, maybe even 2 years ago, I was just like, whatever gig would come, I'd be like, yes, I'll do it. And now I can vet so much more. And generally, I mean, the projects that I choose to take are so much more enjoyable for me. And also in the last 6 months, I've decided to spend more time on my music, and I have the ability to do that. Whereas before, it would have been like dictated by whatever random thing came my way.
Right. Exactly. Well, cool, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you doing this. And is there any advice that you would give to someone who may feel like they don't have a lot of control in their business? Obviously, doesn't go hire Dan. That's not the advice, but just from you, you know, actual advice. What would you say to someone?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is I remember the first couple of months I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, did I make a mistake doing this? Like, I just felt a weird feeling in my stomach because it didn't feel like, you know, me or whatever identity I had. And I'm so grateful that I went through this process with you and that I like trusted in it, because that feeling like pretty much went away immediately once I started getting success. You're like, oh, okay. And I will say that exact same thing has helped me deal with like being an artist, putting music out, because it's even more like I'm going to do my thing. And the people who fuck with it are going to pay attention. The people who don't, it doesn't matter. So that mindset there, just like being more unfuckable with, is huge.
There's the title of the video right there.
Yeah,
Producer becomes unfuckable with. Well, cool. Thanks, Carey, man. Enjoy your what do you call it? Vacation, I guess, or
it's totally, yeah, it's a working vacation, I guess.
Yeah, cool. Well, have a good one, man. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, man. Dan, great to see you.
Thanks, brother.
All right.
See ya.